Fast forward to January 2026. You are sipping coffee on your sunny Florida porch, ocean breeze in your hair. Then the mail arrives, another insurance bill up 20%, a property tax hike notice, and a flood alert warning that your home could be underwater more days than dry. Suddenly, that dream home feels like a trap. What if keeping it means losing everything? Welcome to Florida's brewing housing crisis. By the end of 2026, experts warn millions of homeowners could be forced to sell, not because they want to, but because they have no choice. Today, we are breaking it down. The skyrocketing insurance costs, relentless floodwaters, sharp price drops, mass exodus of residents, and who loses most. Stick around, this could reshape your future. Chapter 1. The insurance nightmare that's breaking wallets. Let us dive into the biggest culprit, Florida's property insurance market, teetering on collapse with 2026 as the potential tipping point. The average homeowner shells out $4,200 yearly for coverage, the nation's highest per federal data. Coastal areas like Miami or Tampa expect $10,000+, with rates tripling in 3 years for many. Blame the storm barrage, Ian's $112 billion hit in 2022, plus Helene and Milton's 2024 fury, totaling over $200 billion in claims since 2020. Insurers have bailed over 20 major firms, scaled back or exited since 2023, shoving policyholders towards Citizens Property Insurance, now the U.S.'s largest with 1.2 million policies. State reforms curbing lawsuits offer spotty relief. Citizens proposed a 2.6% drop for 2026 might save hundreds in the Keys, but it is a drop in the bucket. Private hikes persist, and 20% of owners go uninsured. Courting disaster. This balloons mortgages via escrowed premiums, deductibles at 2 to 5% of home value. Turn one claim into financial Armageddon. Retirees, premiums gobble up 10 to 15% of fixed incomes. With a hyperactive 2026 hurricane season looming, non-renewals could surge. Sell proactively or brace for foreclosure. That is the grim equation. Chapter 2. Rising waters, sinking dreams. Florida is not just warming, it is flooding faster, with sea levels up an inch every 3 years. From currents, expansion, and subsidence, NOAA projects 2 to 3 more inches by 2026, spiking tidal floods. Their 2025 to 2026 outlook flags 4 to 9 sunny day floods coastwide, but Florida doubles that in Miami Beach or St. Petersburg. The state's 2026 to 2027 Resilience Plan highlights: encroaching tides, battering infrastructure. Keys flooding? Up 352% since 2000, ramping to 300+ events yearly by 2045. 2026 accelerates it. Erosion threatens $34 billion in national value by 2050. Florida's 48,000 at-risk homes lead. Lenders balk at flood zone loans without extra $1,000 to $3,000 flood insurance. Sellers must disclose risks in Fort Lauderdale to tanking appeal. Values could fall 10 to 20% per First Street model. Rebuilds cost 30% more post-2020, claims drag. For millions in beach homes or condos, 2026 means relocation, inland or out of state, as waters claim ground. Chapter 3. The price plunge, from boom to bust. Gone are the days of pandemic bidding wars, pushing prices up 50%. Realtor.com's 2026 forecast dips in 22 U.S. cities. Florida claims 7 of 8 top metros. Cape Coral-Fort Myers leads with a 10.2% drop, Sarasota Bradenton at 8.9%, Orlando/Tampa 3 to 5%. Inventory surges, days on market doubled to 60+ since 2022, with stale listings now common in Sunbelt spots like Tampa and Fort Lauderdale. New home prices have already fallen over 10% in the last 2 years, even as construction costs rise 2% annually, per NAHB data. Redfin's Great Housing Reset blames disasters, soaring insurance, and remote workers returning north for coastal stagnation. Bank of America notes Sunbelt vacancies from overbuilding, while Zillow predicts national home values up just 1.2% in 2026, but declines in 12 major markets. down from 24 in 2025. Yet Florida is still heavy with cooling condos. Statewide median down 0.9% to $411,000 in late 2025. Experts eye 2 to 4% more slide-in risks, driven by post-Surfside safety laws, hiking HOA fees, and tanking condo prices up to 15% in Miami-Dade. Sellers list high get lowballs amid inspections, revealing vulnerabilities. Buyers leverage, but avoid pitfalls like uninsurable properties. Not a 2008 crash, but a wealth eroding bleed. For 2.5 million equity underwater households by 2026, sales lock-in losses, especially for those facing doubled insurance quotes. Chapter 4. The Great Exodus. People are leaving. Florida is booming 300,000 annual additions pre-2025, reverses in 2026. Bank of America net losses in Miami, Orlando, Tampa post-pandemic first, with cooling jobs and high rates curbing moves. U-Haul ranks Florida number 4 for growth in 2024, but slowing as outflows hit cities like Tampa and Miami per PODS data, with movers heading to Atlanta, Columbus, or cheaper spots in Georgia and North Carolina. Net domestic migration plunged to 63,346 in 2024, from 317,000 in 2022 per census, offset by 411,000 international arrivals, keeping total growth at 1.36% for 2025 to 2026, slowing to 1.29% next year. Affordability vanishes, costs rival NYC. Remote workers flee north or to Texas. Insurance, the 15% tax jumps. 20% living costs since 2022. $80,000 for South Florida families. Tech/finance cools at 6 to 7% rates. 15% second homes flood listings first, then primaries. Demand falls, prices plunge further. Dream chasers? Now, survivors are packing up, with U-Haul one-way trips out rising 20% in coastal metros, and net migration down 49% from 2022 to 2023 peaks, due to insurance and hurricane risks. Chapter 5. Who gets hit hardest and why selling becomes inevitable. Vulnerable groups bear the brunt. Coastal retirees see premiums eat half Social Security, with insurance tripling in 5 years per AARP surveys. 1 in 5 Floridians 45 plus uninsured, citing costs as the barrier, like Bradenton couples spending 55% of their fixed income. On housing alone, 40% fixed income homes risk default, with a 10% cost rise, echoing 2010's 300,000 foreclosures, now evictions up 187%, and filings 33% above pre-2020 levels through 2026. Families in Jacksonville/Naples face 2026 mortgage resets, plus kid costs with young buyers squeezed, as only 1 in 5 are first-time owners, per Florida Realtors. Condo owners, $20,000 per unit assessments post-storm, plus new safety mandates adding $10,000+ fees, bankrupting boards in places like Surfside. Prices for 30-plus-year-old buildings down 21%. Uninsured. One hurricane empties savings. Tampa's foreclosure rate tops majors, at 1 in 1,373 units. Redfin inland like Ocala gains the coast's crash. For 1 to 2 million owners, equity vanishes and lenders call loans. Sales at 15 to 25% loss preserve scraps, averting total ruin, a forced pivot not choice, as elderly evictions spike 50% in condo-heavy counties. And 2.4 million low-income households pay over 30% income on housing. Chapter 6. Government response and what little hope remains. Florida is not idle. 2025 laws, like HB 1611 cap non-renewals for 90 days post-storm, and fund resiliency grants up to $10,000 via My Safe Florida Home for windproofing upgrades, but critics call it band-aids on hemorrhage. The $1 billion reinsurance pool bolsters citizens, yet private insurers keep fleeing, leaving gaps. Federal FEMA aid expands with $11 billion for recovery, but bureaucracy delays payouts. Hope flickers, inland markets stabilize with price gains. AI flood modeling refines risks. For coasts, adaptation demands $50,000 plus elevations or buyouts. Millions ponder, fight on or flight to safety? Conclusion, your move in the storm. The wake-up call is clear. Start by reviewing your insurance policy line by line. To spot gaps or better deals, invest in simple fortifications, like storm shutters or elevated appliances. To cut future risks, and pull up local flood maps on FEMA's website. To gauge your true exposure, what is your contingency plan amid this brewing storm? Fortify and stay, or scout safer shores? Share your thoughts in the comments below. To connect with fellow Floridians, navigating the same choppy waters. And if you are hungry for more insights on America's evolving housing landscape, hit that subscribe button and turn on notifications. We have got your back. Thanks for watching, and knowledge is your best shield.